Oh. Sarvadharmasthapakatvam sarvadharmaswarupakaha acharyanam mahacharyo Ramakrishnaya te namaha. O establisher of all the faiths, embodiment of all the religions, the greatest teacher among all the teachers, O Sri Ramakrishna, my salutations to you. Namaste, pranam. Sri Ramakrishna's teachings through examples, through stories, through parables, through anecdotes. And Sri Ramakrishna taught us in our previous session that how the reading of scriptures, studying books is extremely helpful during the initial stages of one's spiritual journey. When he was asked by a Brahmo devotee, have you read Panchadashi? The 15 stanza work, the great treatise by Swami Vidyaranya. Have you read it? And Sri Ramakrishna says, all this reading, studying the books is necessary during the initial stages of sadhana. But once a spiritual aspirant advances in the spiritual practices, then one need not read anything. Then one need not read to any spiritual texts. To what is mentioned regarding this in this particular text, there is no need. The knowledge is automatically provided by the Lord to the spiritual aspirant. Everything is clear. There is no doubt, there is no confusion, there is nothing to sort from these spiritual texts. Then Sri Ramakrishna had given that example of a small child when he starts learning how to write. If he has to write simple word, say if he has to write cat, C-A-T, when the child writes, he mentally memorizes the spelling of the word. He spells out mentally C-A-T and then he writes C-A-T. But when the child starts further practices writing and further gains mastery on writing these simple words, then he need not mentally rehearse every time he writes the words. Initially, when he's forming sentences, he may put an effort of bringing in words together to form the sentence. I am a boy. I am a girl. The child may formulate these words, repeating the individual, the sentence, repeating the individual words. But later, as he becomes master, as he gains mastery over writing such simple lines, he need not have any mental preparation of what I have to write. And then, as he becomes further proficient in writing, he doesn't need any mental calculation, he doesn't need any mental preparation. Then he starts writing lines after lines after lines. And then the stage comes when he's proficient in writing paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs without any mental preparation, without any mental calculation of what I have to write. Then he keeps on writing pages and pages and pages. So that's what happens. Initially, yes, he has to read the books, he has to study the text, he has to try to understand the meaning. But as one progresses, then there is no need for any of these texts, whether it is Panchadashi, whether it is these are the Upanishads, whether these are the Bhagavad Gita, or whether these are the commentaries by great philosophers and the saints. No need. Then all the knowledge is provided to you by the Divine Mother. So that was Sri Ramakrishna's teaching in our previous session. He also gave an example of the goldsmith. That goldsmith, when he is preparing gold ornaments, an article of gold, he has to melt the gold. And while melting that particle piece of gold, he has to put in so much effort. He has to do kind of multitasking. He is billowing the fan, he is blowing the pipe to fasten the speed of melting. And once that gold is melt, then he has to just put that molten gold in the mold and relax. Then he doesn't have to do any further efforts. He doesn't have to make any further efforts. Then he has to just wait for that molten gold to take the shape of that mold and the article of gold is ready. So Sri Ramakrishna said that initially, yes, you read the books, you study the texts, but later on, these are of no use. They don't help you anywhere once you have gained that proficiency of chanting the name of the Lord. Now, In today's reading, it is 8th April 1883. It is a Sunday, and some devotees have gathered in Sri Ramakrishna's room. Sri M is there, Rakhal is there, Ramlal, Sri Ramakrishna's nephew, is also there, sitting to listen to his nectarine words, and one prominent devotee of Sri Ramakrishna, Manilal Malik. He has come to meet Sri Ramakrishna. Manilal had recently been to Benares on a pilgrimage. Whether it was a pilgrimage or a personal visit, we will see later. So Manilal is back from Benares, and Sri Ramakrishna wants to know how he spent his time in Benares. So Sri Ramakrishna asks him, "So you have been to Benares. Did you see any holy men there? Did you see any holy men, or you just went on visiting temples and you went on doing your business related work? What did you do? Did you see?" Sri Ramakrishna always insisted that whenever you are going on a pilgrimage, whenever you are going to a holy place, you must go and meet holy people there. There are so many enlightened souls, there are so many enlightened saints at these holy places. Better you go and spend some time with them. Try to get something from them in terms of spiritual knowledge, in terms of spiritual learning. So Sri Ramakrishna naturally asked his beloved disciple Manilal, "Did you meet any holy people there?" And Manipal said, "Yes. I paid my respects to Trailanga Swami, Bhaskarananda, and others." Now, these are the two very prominent spiritual giants who were staying in Benares. Trailanga Swami, of course, Sri Ramakrishna knew Trailanga Swami. Earlier also, in one of the teachings, he had given the example of Trailanga Swami, that how after attaining Brahmajnana, he took the vows of silence. He took the Maunavrat. Trailanga Swami never spoke a word. Such a realized soul. He used to remain merged in that bhava of Brahman. So these were the two people that Manilal had met. And then Sri Ramakrishna says, "Tell us something about them." Now he is curious what these great saints have spoken with Manilal, his beloved disciple. Manipal says, "Trailanga Swami is living in the same temple where he lived before, on the Manikarnika Ghat." Now Manikarnika Ghat is very famous for all those cremations taking place. And it seems Trailanga Swami always preferred to stay there at the Manikarnika Ghat, seeing all those bodies getting cremated and seeing all those Jivatmans getting merged in the Paramatmans. So that was where Trailanga Swami has put himself, near Benimadhav Minaret. Now this Manikarnika Ghat is near Benimadhav Minaret. People say, now he is referring to what people of Benares, they talk about Trailanga Swami. Trailanga Swami, highly elated soul, enlightened soul. Now people say he was formerly in a more exalted spiritual state. Now it seems in the eyes of people, his spiritual state has come down. Earlier he was in an exalted state. Now why so? People say he could perform many miracles. Now he has lost much of that power. A person performing miracles is considered to be in much higher exalted state. Shoo, sha, do this, do that. Give them some material gains and they are happy. Oh, this person is so great. This person gives us this. This person gives us that. It is a miracle he is performing. He is a great, exalted soul. But now they say he has come down. Now Sri Ramakrishna says that is the criticism of worldly people. People who only seek worldly gains from the spiritual giants. They will say his status has come down. His exalted state has come down. But in reality, it is exactly the opposite. He has got in such a highly exalted state that for him, for Trailanga Swami, doing all these miracles is just a myth, just a nonsense, just a Maya. He has gone beyond the realm of Maya. Then he says, Manilal says that Trailanga Swami keeps a strict vow of silence. He doesn't speak at all. Having merged his self in the great self, having merged his little tiny ego. In the ego of the Satchidananda, there is nothing to speak. For Trailanga Swami, duality has vanished. We keep on talking only till we are aware of this duality, till we are aware of this differentiation between me and you. Once that duality ceases, there is nothing to speak. So she says, Trailanga Swami keeps a strict vow of silence. And unlike him, Bhaskarananda is friendly with all. He says, Bhaskarananda keeps making jokes, cutting fun, cutting jokes, making fun, enjoying the life with the people around, kind of telling them spiritual truths in a lighter way, sharing those spiritual truths, but talking to them. He is not aloof. Although he is also a Brahmajnani, he has brought his ego to a level of the child ego. And that's how Bhaskarananda behaves with the devotees, behaves with the people in a very friendly manner. Now, Sri Ramakrishna appreciates that also. Sri Ramakrishna says, yes, that is also a path meant for worldly people. These great souls, they have to come down to the level of the worldly people. Like Sri Ramakrishna talking to all these gatherings, day after day after day, day after day. Giving them teachings, giving them preachings, telling them examples, telling them anecdotes, and bringing forth the spiritual truths to all these struggling souls. So Sri Ramakrishna says that is also the path meant for worldly minded people. But those whose spiritual consciousness has been awakened, who have realized that God alone is real and all else is illusory, cherish a different ideal like Trailanga Swami. He has gone beyond, and he doesn't want to come down like Bhaskarananda. He wants to remain in that highest exalted state. It is not the exalted state which is lowered as described by the people of Benares. He is in a much higher exalted state. They are aware that God alone is the doer and others are just his instruments. So that is the two types of teachers we find in the spiritual world. Those who try to remain in their own solitude, in their own singular mode of existence, that me and my Brahman are one. But there are other teachers who come down to the level of the normal plane and mingle with the people around. They make fun, they make the atmosphere so friendly that people gather to them, people come to them to hear those spiritual truths. Those whose spiritual consciousness has been awakened never make a false step. They do not have to reason in order to shun evil. These people, they do not have to reason all the time. They do not have to discriminate all the time. They have already realized everything. They do not have to discriminate to shun the evil. For them, evil is gone. They are so full of love of God that whatever action they undertake is good action only. These people can never do any evil. Whatever they do is only the good. Whatever they do is only the holy act. Whatever they do is only the pious act. They are fully conscious that they are not the doers of their actions, but mere servants of God. They know, I am not the doer at all. I has gone. The salt doll has got dissolved in the ocean. That I has gone. Now whatever is there is only Him. And that Him, that Divine Mother, is getting everything done through this instrument. That great charioteer, the divine charioteer, is driving this chariot. This chariot cannot move of its own, cannot do anything of its own. They always feel, I am the machine and He is the operator. I do as He does through me. I speak as He speaks through me. I move as He moves me. That is their ultimate realization. So Sri Ramakrishna telling how Swami Trailanga Swami, how he prefers to behave that way, that he has attained everything. he has kept himself in a much highly evolved, exalted state, that he doesn't come down, he doesn't speak, he doesn't interact with anybody. All he will do is he will just cast a glance of his grace. That glance is enough to ignite the spiritual passion in the heart of a spiritual aspirant. That glance, that one look is sufficient. But there are other spiritually awakened souls. There are other spiritually enlightened saints like Bhaskarananda. They do come down. They do come down to the level of the ordinary planes. They mingle within the people. They teach them through examples. They teach them through stories. They teach them making fun with them. They teach them through lighter moments. So that is what Sri Ramakrishna is teaching today on Manilal Malik's visit to Benares and his meeting with these two great spiritual giants, the Trailanga Swami and Bhaskarananda. Om Namah Shri Bhagavate Ramakrishnaya. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Jai Thakur, Jai Ma, Jai Swamiji.